What's going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar and welcome back to the NPA. Real quick, I do have a little bit of housekeeping things to talk about before I go into the team builder. I'm going to put this right at the beginning of the video. This may seem like it's a long break. However, we had a week off before playoffs. I had the first round bye of playoffs, so I had 2 weeks with no NPA uploads. So this is the second round of playoffs. I am playing the choice specs of the Orlando Magikarps. And real quick, let's go ahead and talk about his team. Very threatening team, especially for me. If I'm being completely honest with you, I don't have a whole lot of confidence going into this game because it's very hard for me to prep for his team. He has Dragonite, Mandibuzz, Aerodactyl, Mismagius, Sceptile, Pyroar, Mega Slowbro, Scolipede, Snorlax, Gardevoir, Magneton. His team will appear on the screen right next to mine. Now, you might be wondering why it's so weird that I face this team, because overall, his team doesn't seem to be as threatening as you would think. His Fire Water Grass Core is Sceptile, Pyroar, Mega Slowbro. His Dragon Fairy Steel Core is Dragonite, Gardevoir, Magneton. So he doesn't have the highest tier of either. However, let's put a couple of scenarios into play. Z Dragonite is very scary. Z Dragonite with Electrium Z, Firium Z, Groundium Z, Dragonium Z, anything, it literally sticks as my team if it has extreme speed. Mandibuzz plus Mega Slowbro is extremely fat and extremely hard for my team to break down, aside from my Heliolisk, so I need to be able to wear it down a little bit. He really likes Sash Lead Aerodactyl, however, if he is offensive or Scarf, it's very hard for me to switch into. Nasty Plot Mismagius is almost impossible for me to switch into. Sceptile and Pyroar are probably the two things that I do not have the biggest fears about. Calm My Mega Slowbro is very hard for me to switch into, however, he cannot be Crowbro with Mono Scald. He also cannot be Crowbro with Mono Psyshock, because then he loses to either Alolan Persian or my Jellicent. Scolipede is threatening because if it sets up Swords Dances, it can actually 6-0 my team. It's very hard for me to deal with. Snorlax, if it's Curselax and he has weakened my Jellicent or has Toxiced it, I lose to Curselax. Gardevoir is hard for me to switch into if it's Scarfed or just Life Orb in general. And then Magneton is probably the least threatening thing out of his threatening Mons because I do have Nidoqueen. Any combination of his threatening Mons is very hard for me to deal with. It's very difficult. However, I do think that I have a good way around how I kind of wanted to build this week. So let's talk a little bit about how I want to win this week. I'm going to talk about this set first, and this is a Dragon Dance Zardex, very standard, with Dragon Dance, Roost, Dragon Claw, Flare Blitz, enough speed to outspeed Dragonite and his base 80s like Gardevoir. And this thing is probably going to be my designated lead, unless he brings Aerodactyl, then it'll probably be Heliolisk. So this will be my designated lead because if he leads off with Slowbro, if he leads off with Mandibuzz, if he leads off with Sceptile, Pyroar, Mismagius, Snorlax to an extent, even Magneton, I can set up a Dragon Dance and I can severely hurt his Mega Slowbro. And the second I'm able to hurt his Mega Slowbro, it means that Swords Dance Lucario sweeps his entire team. This has enough speed for base 80s again, with 28 in HP and 44 in defense and 4 in special defense. So you might be wondering what that HP and defense is for. So if you do not know what a Life Orb number is, it is any number that ends in 9. It means that you take a little bit less damage and you get 1 extra hit off. Instead of getting off 10 hits, you get off 11 hits. Instead of getting off 9 hits, you get off 10 hits, something like that, I can't remember. But ending in 9 is good, so I threw the rest into defense. It also helps me take an extreme speed. But these two together, this will wear down the 1 check to Mega Lucario, or to Swords Dance Lucario that he has. And that is Mega Slowbro, which is nice. Then I can send in this thing, set up a Swords Dance, and I can potentially sweep through his entire team. But there are still a couple of things that need to happen in order for that to happen. I need to get up rocks, I need to Toxic the Mandibuzz, and I need to be able to either Toxic or severely weaken the Mega Slowbro. This is my answer to Mega Slowbro. Here are rocks for Dragonite. This has enough speed for like a speed creeping, what's it called, Magneton. I think it was also uninvested Mandibuzz, maybe? 12 invested Mandibuzz, something like that. We'll go with that. This has enough defense to live a +1 Earthquake from a Dragonite and after Rock to be able to OHKO with an Ice Beam. This also allows me to take a neutral Ground DMZ, which is really nice. And then Toxic plus this speed allows me to outspeed his Mandibuzz and Toxic it, which is amazing. So that's Nidoqueen's role: get up rocks, whittle down Mandibuzz a little bit, and force Dragonite to break its multi-scale. So, another thing that I wanted to have was a fail-safe if Swords Dance Lucario and Dragon Dance Zardax did not work, and that was this to weaken his team, along with Choice Scarf, Heliolisk, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Hidden Hyper Voice, and Hidden Power Ground. Enough speed for Pyroar, and Volt Switch, Thunderbolt. He does not have an electric immunity, so I can freely Volt Switch on his team. And whenever I Volt Switch, it forces in Magneton. I get to go into my Nidoqueen. I get to get up rocks. I get to weaken something a little bit more. So this baits in one of the few things that Nidoqueen freely comes in on. With that, I'm also able to clean his team late game. With things like Dragonite being a little bit weakened, things like Gardevoir being at about 50%, things like Slowbro plus Mandibuzz being a little bit weakened, and Aerodactyl, I can spam Thunderbolt late game if he doesn't have a Magneton, if he has his Wall Core of Mandibuzz plus Mega Slowbro. So that's what this whole Heliolisk set is for, hopefully to clean up late game. Then, because Gardevoir is a massive threat for this team, it clicks Moonblast, Psychic or Psyshock, Psychic or Psyshock, and then Moonblast or Psychic or Psyshock, and it kills everything. So I wanted Spadef Jellicent with Taunt, Recover, Toxic, and Scald. This also beats Mono Scald Slowbro. Guaranteed. I'm able to taunt it, I'm able to toxic it, and I'm able to recover stall it, or I'm able to weaken it to the point to where Dragon Dance Zardax can come in and beat Slowbro for Swords Dance Lucario. So these three together are meant to weaken the one thing that stops Lucario. So that's what everything is being built around, is hopefully Lucario coming in and sweeping. This is my win con. Swords Dance Lucario, Bullet Punch, Oko's Gardevoir after rocks without +2. So if he is Babiri Berry, then I need the +2. If he is not Babiri Berry, I don't need it. Close Combat plus Extreme Speed cleans up everything else. It is so good this game, and I love it. But then, let's talk about this Skarmory set with Shed Shell. He is probably going to bring Magnet Pull Magneton just to try to trap me. I don't like that, and plus Nidoqueen is a safe switch into an electric type that only has Volt Switch. So that's really nice. I get to Whirlwind, Roost, Spikes, and Brave Bird. Spikes are super important. If I can get up one layer of Spikes plus a layer of Rocks, I pretty much am going to think that I can win this game. It's still going to be very hard depending on what he brings. But if I get up a layer of Spike, maybe 2, and I Whirlwind around and I start having his team take hazard damage, it's very hard for him to switch into Choice Scarf, Heliolisk, or the priority on this team that I have. But that is pretty much the team that I'm going to be bringing. I'm pretty happy with this. I want to give a big shout out to Ethan or Erasmus Gaming for helping me build this week. It really helped out a lot, but I'm pretty happy with this team. I don't think I could have built a much better one, honestly, so if I do lose, it is what it is. But with that, guys, let's just go ahead and hop right over to the battle. What's going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar, and welcome back to the NPA. This is going to be the playoff game. I know I haven't uploaded the NPA in a little bit. However, I'm sure I explained it in the team builder before this. But pretty much, I had first round bye. Last game went up on schedule. We took a week break, a little bit of a break until the playoffs actually started. Let's go ahead and talk about this team that I'm bringing. I'm bringing a Dragon Dance Zard Y Jolly with a lot of HP. I'm bringing Nidoqueen, that's pretty bulky. I'm bringing a Choice Scarf Heliolisk. I'm bringing a Spadef Jellicent. I'm bringing a Swords Dance Lucario, and I'm also bringing a Spike Stacking Fizdef Skarmory. As for what I'm expecting Specs to bring, not really sure off the top of my head. He could bring pretty much anything, and I wouldn't be surprised. The big thing that would surprise me, though, is if he didn't bring Dragonite, because that thing just like 6-0s my team. Especially like Dragon Dance with the Z move, because Z moves are absolutely broken. But if I lose this game, I'm out of the NPA. Like, I'm out of playoffs for the NPA. I would say I would be upset, but at the same time, I wouldn't be upset because I'm really just ready to take a break from Mons for a little bit, for about 3 weeks or so. I'm ready to get out of this Z move rule. I'm ready to use a team that I enjoy using. So I'm ready for a fresh start. Let's see what he brought. Brought pretty much what I was expecting. Let me see. There we go. Now I see that it is an item. Sweet. So a lot of times he leads Focus Sash, lead Arrow. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to lead off with my Choice Scarf Heliolisk, get outspeeds everything on his team except for Scarfed Arrow. SD Lucario just sweeps him. He doesn't have a switch into it. So that's good. He doesn't really have a way of beating Zard X either. Like, I can set up on... I could set up on the Magneton. I could set up on the Mega Slowbro. I could even set up one Dragon Dance on the Mandibuzz. I'm just hoping I don't get destroyed this game, honestly. Like, if I lose, I want it to be a fun game. And judging by what he brought, it'll be a fun game. I went through a lot of renditions with this team. Originally, I brought like a bunch of Toxic Mons because I had no way to break down Mandibuzz plus Slowbro. Originally, I brought Z Parting Shot and Z Memento to see which one would help me the most. I brought Whimsicott in a couple of my mocks. I had a bunch of different renditions of this team, so hopefully the team that I brought is the team that will do the best for me. Also, you're going to notice I'm wearing the exact same clothes that I used in my PPL game this week. That's because I just played my PPL game, so I hope you guys will enjoy that one. It was a lot of fun. Petrie did lead off with Aerodactyl, which is nice. He normally has Focus Sash Rocks. That's normally what he leads with. I'm just going to click Volt Switch. Don't really see a reason not to. And I'll bring him down to Sash. Didn't even bring him down to Sash. Let me see something real quick. I can live a Stone Edge. He's jolly. Can you earn Adamant against my team? You can. I think I would rather take the 50% to Rocks and roost up on something else, but what I think I'm going to do here is I think I'm going to go into my Burb and start setting up some spikes. Because it'll really hurt things like Gardevoir, it'll hurt his Mega Slowbro. He did set up a Stealth Rocks. I could have also gone into Nidoqueen, but I didn't want to take an Earthquake. I'd rather roost up on the Mandibuzz, honestly. Let's go ahead and set up our spikes. He might taunt me, which would kind of sort of suck. However, Brave Bird will kill him after. So if he taunts me, it's not the end of the world. I'll get rid of Arrow. But he switches out, which is nice for me. Into Magneton. It's fine. Set up one layer of spikes. And now this is where I'm going to go into my Nidoqueen, and I will get up my Rocks. Because I am Shed Shell and Skarmory, in case you didn't remember from the team builder, or you skipped it, I am Shed Shell, so I can switch out here. And he's going to go for a Volt Switch or a Thunderbolt, and I'll be able to go into Nidoqueen, and I'll be able to get up my Rocks, which is nice. Nice. Yep. We go for Stealth Rocks here. If he goes into his Mandibuzz, I'm going to Toxic it afterwards. His team is looking like it's almost ready to be swept by Lucario. I'm getting so many texts. I am so freaking popular. If he goes into his, what's it called? Dragonite? I really had to think about what it was called. I'm going to click Ice Beam on it. I might click Toxic. I might click Ice Beam. But I have a feeling he's going to go into his Mandibuzz. He might go into his Gardevoir. If he goes into his Gardevoir, I'm going to go into my Jellicent. Lightyear, that's Gardevoir. No, that's Buzz. Mandibuzz. So this is really good because he can defog for me and get rid of my hazards. And then I will put him on a timer with Toxic. He can knock off my Shuka Berry. I don't really care about that. I do outspeed him, which is nice to know. And used knockoff and got rid of my Shuka Berry. Sweet. So now... I think I'm just going to start whittling this thing down. Because, like, he can try to roost up on me. So he's especially defensive. Ice Beam will be doing about 25% of his health min, a quarter of his health minimum. So I'm just going to click Ice Beam here. He doesn't really have a super safe switch into this thing. Because he can't risk Sludge Wave, he can't risk Sludge Bomb, anything like that on Gardevoir. I do think Ice Beam here is my best play. Did he go for Defog? Because there's going to come a point in time where I can spam rocks against him. He is very specially defensive. Holy shit. He went for knockoff again. That's fine. I'm going to stay in here, and I'm going to keep spamming moves until he's weak enough. Trying to think. I could go into my Zard here. And roost up. Leave this thing a little bit healthier to still switch into Magneton. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to switch into Zard. I'll take Rocks damage. I can take a knockoff because I have my Mega Stone. I have a lot of HP investment. And then I can roost up. He's going to withdraw. What is he going to? Order Brand. Okay, this is fine. This is actually fine because this was my setup fodder. That Spike plus Stealth Rock did so much damage. We're gonna Mega and click Roost, I think, is the best way to do this. I'm sorry if you can hear my dogs barking. They're really obnoxious and annoying, and I hate them. Trust me, I do. He's gonna Mega. So the good thing is, if he brings in his arrow again, he loses. I don't think he can afford to be Calm Mind Mono Scald, so he can't be Crowbro. Don't think he can even be Psyshock because I could taunt him with Jellicent. If he sets up a Calm Mind here, I'm going into Jellicent. He went for Scald. Let's see how much damage this does. It's a neutral Scald. Close to 0. However, right here, since I know for a fact... Wait, 97. That did less than 50%. I do think here my best play is going into Heliolisk. Psyshock does a lot though. I won't be able to come in, take a Psyshock Voltage out, and then go again. I'm just going to make the safe play and go into my Jellicent. If he goes for Psyshock or Psychic, I can tank them both. He went for Toxic, and he misses a Toxic. That sucks. However, I definitely think he's either going to switch out or go for a Toxic again. So I think right here I want to go into my Doggo. Or not my Doggo, my Burb. They'll be able to go in, and I'll get to get up another Spike. That's what I'm going to do. If he's going to Toxic, I'm going to take advantage of it. I did switch out first. I am faster than him. But I want to keep setting up spikes on him. Sweet. He can go for a Fire Blast here. think I can live 1. Skarmory, Burb versus Scald is doing 52. A Diffuse Flame Thrower. Flamethrower, I do take 1. It does 79 max. I'm clicking another spike. I want 2 layers of spikes up. Goes for Scald. That's fine. That did a lot more than what it said it should have. I kind of want to click Roost here to scout that damage again, because that looked like it did a lot. See if he's offensive. Should be good for SD Lucario. He looks like he just loses to it. I'm clicking Roost again to see what he goes for. He might go for Toxic again and overpredict here. 2 layers of spikes up and rocks. I'm at 150. He goes for a Scald. 150 to 60. It's doing 90 damage. So that was a really high max roll. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back into Jellicent. If he clicks Toxic here, good play on him. Sorry, my green screen messed up. I set up a little too high. He goes for Toxic here, good on him. However, if he does not, I'm going to click Taunt. There's my Water Absorb, which is nice. Now, I'm going to click Taunt. He looks like he's Mono Scald. And now that I have 2 layers of spikes up, he's going to be hurting. I kind of want to click Scald to get off some damage on that. I don't know if I want to click Scald or Toxic. I'm going to click Scald. If he stays in, good on him. Once this thing switches back in on rocks. Phew. Plus 2 extreme speed does 25 to 30% if he's Fizz Def. Does actually 0. I will say though, I want to give a big shout out to Erasmus, Ethan. If you're watching this, my man, I want to thank you for the help on the team build. It wasn't even really so much help, more so rocks. That was 2 layers of spikes and stealth rocks and a Scald. Yee. Wasn't so much as help, but it's just like a suggestion. And I get the burn. Holy shit. He's definitely a Violite. Yep, definitely a Violite. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into my Nidoqueen. I have no reason not to. But the way I'm going to win this game is with Lucario. Definitely with Lucario. But yeah, I want to give a big shout out to Ethan. He gave me a really good suggestion. Like, I knew that SD Lucario was going to be my win con this game. Going into it, I also knew that hazards were going to be big. Because for him, they hurt him a lot more than they hurt me because they put a lot more into range of SD Lucario, even though I do have a Mega Charizard X. So, let's go into this, see what he goes for. He might go for a Volt Switch, or for a Thunderbolt. So, I think clicking Earth Power here is my better play. Versus, what is this thing called? I'm wanting to know against Slowbro. Because Earth Power is doing 30%. I think that'll 2-hit KO him after rocks. I know it will, so I'm going to click Earth Power. I outsped him too, which is cool. So now it's a matter of what he wants to go into. Because if he goes into Dragonite, he's going to die to Ice Beam, unless he clicks Earthquake on me. I wish I had Hidden Power Ice on Jellicent. Wait, what's my thing speed? Yeah, I have 60 speed EVs, so if he was just like speed creeping uninvested Queen, that's why. Sweet. Laura Jane. Take this sweet 2 spikes and then 12% 2 rocks. Now you are in range. A Bullet Punch. Guaranteed. Traced Sheer Force. Oh shit. Magneton's dead. I'm letting this thing die. I am not switching in my Jellicent to this thing. I don't think. Actually, yes, I am. I'm switching Jellicent into this. Because if he's Choice Scarf, I should be able to take 2, even if he is Sheer Force boosted. And if not, I go into Lucario and I click Bullet Punch and I kill him. Went for Psychic. I am fully Spadef. Tanked. I think he's Sheer Force Life Orb. I think he's Sheer Force Life Orb. I'm gonna click Recover in case he is not. I think I can live this. Yup, and I click Recover. Okay, so there's only a matter of time before he gets a Spadef drop. Scald does 25%. I'm gonna click Scald here. He withdrew. Sweet. This is fine. See how much Scald does to this thing. It won't do a whole lot. However, I'm going to keep this around. Because it is a decent switch into Gardevoir. Now, he kind of sort of has to roost. I'm going to go into Nidoqueen. Because if he tries to knock off my lefties, I have to have this thing with leftovers. It keeps Sheer Force Psychic from being a 2-hit KO. Also, if you can't understand what I'm doing, I'm trying to put everything in range of Lucario, but with Mega Slowbro around, it is difficult. Does he defog? He clicks Roost. And plus, with super fat mons like Mandibuzz plus Mega Slowbro, the easiest way to take them down is by poisoning them. So here, I think what I'm going to do is click Ice Beam. I might click Earth Power. I think I'm going to click Earth Power again. Because I don't want him going in Mega Slowbro for free. And Earth Power will do more to the, what's it called? Gardevoir. I realize he has in his Mandibuzz right now. However, he can't do much to me because it looks like his only offensive move is Knockoff. Earth Power is doing 32 to 38. It looks like he's taking about 30% or so from rocks. He stayed in. That's fine. He clicked Defog. Okay, I'm getting my rocks back up. Don't you think I'm not about to get my rocks back up? He did get rid of rocks for me, which is really nice. However, I do think actually staying in and clicking Ice Beam until this thing dies is the better play, because if Arrow comes back in to get his rocks up, that would be bad. Also, he can go into his Dragonite here and have like multi-scale be intact. I'd rather get off the Ice Beam. He's going back into Arrow. Elliot? Nope. No. Okay, so I do think my Nidoqueen dies here. Actually, it doesn't. If he's not Life Orb, it does not kill me, because I'm at 97 out of 197. I can click Ice Beam again here. He either has to burn his Z move, or it'd be like offensive with Earthquake. Let's see, he can only kill me if he has a boosting item. Life Orb, Choice Band, something like that. He's Choice Banded. He is Choice Banded. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into my Heliolisk. I'm going to click Volt Switch. And then I'm going to go back into my Skarmory. Volt Switch is doing 42 to 50. Hyper Voice is doing 54 to 64. That is way too close for my comfort. I'm gonna click Volt Switch, because I do still win with just Heliolisk by clicking Thunderbolt late game. Yeah, if I can get up one layer of Spike. Sorry that I keep like adjusting myself, but I'm sitting on my foot because I'm nervous and it really hurts. At least this thing's multi-scale is broken. Thunderbolt does 54 to 65. He's not banded? Is he Expert Belt? How did he kill me with Earthquake? I still had my Shukaberry intact on my Calc. Shit. However, what is this thing called? Extreme Speed does 33 to 39. Oh my god, are you serious? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this replay. Everything went exactly the same except for I got a crit on Volt Switch. So my thought process was I didn't want to go into Skarm because I needed it, and I didn't want him to kill me with Thunder Punch or Fire Punch, and I couldn't go into Lucario because he was out of range from Extreme Speed, so I was going into Zardex anyway, so this is what I'm going to stick with. I was going into Zardex because Extreme Speed did not kill me, like that's what I was calcing whenever we DC'd, so I'm sticking with this, and right here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to click Dragon Claw, because if he Extreme Speeds me, I want to get this thing out of the way, and then I can pretty much win with Thunderbolt on my Heliolisk. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click Dragon Claw. That was my play. That does not kill me. And I get another crit on Dragon Claw. So Zardex does pick up that kill. So here I think he's going to go into his, what's it called? Arrow. And try to kill me. However, I'm still going to save this thing. Because I can still set up on, he went into this. I'm going to go into my Jellicent, I think. But if he Toxics me, that would be bad. I think what I need to do is just get in Heliolisk and start hitting things again. I apologize for that crit on Volt Switch. Specs, if you are watching this. It sucks. I'm going to stay in and I'm going to set up expecting, or I'm going to Roost expecting him to Toxic. If he clicks Scald, if he clicks Toxic this turn, next turn I'll go into Jellicent. But I think he's going to click Scald here. Went for Toxic. Yeah, so I'm glad I didn't go into Jellicent. I'm going to set up as much as I possibly can to get off one really big hit. Go for Dragon Dance here. Because if I can weaken this thing, I do win with my Lucario. I want to get off as much damage as I possibly can on this thing. And if that's just 1+1 Dragon Claw, that's fine by me. He has no more priority on his team. He did expect me to switch out. I can live a Scald plus Toxic. Let me look. I don't know what the percentage does. It worsens every turn. I think I'm just going to click Dragon Claw here. Get off as much damage as I possibly can. I think that's the smartest play. And then going into Heliolisk and winning with Heliolisk. He went for Rest. So he's Toxic, Rest, Scald. Maybe Sleep Talk? I'm still going to click Dragon Claw until this thing dies. Because that damage was perfect. Like, I want this thing to die. It's perfect damage. Perfect damage. Rest, Sleep Talk, Scald. This thing cannot touch Jellicent. I'm going to get off of one more Dragon Claw, and then I will die. And then I can go into Heliolisk and clean up. Aside from Gardevoir. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Volt Switch. Bitch, I'm a Volt Switch. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to Volt Switch, go into Lucario, and win. Either set up a Swords Dance on Mandibuzz and beat it, or, because it was Roost, Defog, Knockoff. He can knock off my Life Orb, but I'm justified. Fuck, I put Steadfast. I'm not justified. Shit. That sucks. Let's see if I live this Toxic. I don't think I will. No. Cool. So Zardex did its job. It weakened Mega Slowbro. And now I go into Heliolisk and I click Volt Switch. And then I drop in Lucario and see what he thinks can take a hit from it. If he thinks that his Gardevoir can take a hit from it, that just means that it's then in range of Thunderbolt for my Heliolisk. Sweet. Another kill for Heliolisk. Then I drop in Lucario. I wish I was justified. Oh man, that'd be so nice. If he's Babiri on his Gardevoir, then doesn't matter. See, the thing with that extreme speed, like that Volt Switch crit, while it mattered in the moment, it didn't matter. Like in the recreation, it didn't matter because I was going to go into Zardex or my Jellicent either way. I didn't click anything because I was calcing the Zardex damage. And he even told me he expected to die next turn. So, Lightyear, Mana Buzz. I'm going to set up a Swords Dance on you. What's this thing called? And then I win. If he roosts right here, I win. But for knockoff, I still win. I wish I'd put Justified on. Damn it, I forgot to. Forgot to put on Justified, because I'd be at +3 right now. But I still win. So... I click Close Combat here. Now +2. Lucario's gonna end up getting 3 kills this game. Even if he has Babiri, he dies to Bullet Punch. It does 79% minimum. Extreme Speed does 104, so even that would kill him, but I want to show him that I had Bullet Punch. Like, that's the big thing I wanted him to know, that I didn't have just Extreme Speed, but I had Bullet Punch. And this killed him even without +2. So, once Mega Slowbro got weakened, lose game. So, that was a fantastic game. I want to give a big shout out to Specs for hopping in call with me real quick and doing that recreation. He really did help me out. He helped me out by making it easier on me as we watched through my recording. It was still a fantastic game. That game was so much closer than it looked. I had a blast doing it, and Specs is an awesome dude. He did really, really well this season for having a team that a lot of people didn't think was very good. I liked his team personally, but it just, a lot of people didn't really like it. I don't know why. But I think he did amazing this season. Specs, thank you for an awesome game, and thank you and congratulations on an awesome season, man. But with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and run out of here. Thank you all again so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.